Nosworthy, and I'm currently a design student who's specializing in 2D animation and taking an online animation bootcamp by School of Motion. This is episode 10, I think, where we watch tutorials and complete exercises. But yeah, it has been a crazy week actually, and there's a lot of assignments that need to be done. I also have a trip coming up, which is super exciting. We're going to Rosebud down in Mornington in Melbourne, and it is with a group of friends. It is just an exciting trip, but we're gonna try to get as much done before and after this trip, and I'll take you guys along with me as you hopefully learn a lot of After Effects. I'll also link the playlist where I have all the other animation bootcamp episodes all together. There's quite a few of them now, so I made a whole playlist. Last week we worked on some tutorials but never really got to the exercise. It's honestly been super helpful. No regrets taking it. Yeah, I think the only thing is I am falling behind like always. We're gonna get through this, hopefully have a really productive week in my life, and yeah, thanks for following along. Let's go.
Philosophies that you can use to choreograph multiple elements in a scene to move together, applying an overshoot or some follow through or some times I'll look at it and say I'm going to have to do this 3D. We're going to have to do 3D audio. His name is Rich Nosworthy, and he is a New Zealand-based animator, designer, just kind of genius that also happens to be super humble and one of the nicest guys I've ever talked to. He really popped onto my radar when he did some titles for Pause Fest conference. And what's amazing about them is he did them all in 3D and he shaded them very realistically, and it was a very technical execution, but the animation was still amazing. That's a very tricky thing to pull off, and it's something that when you're starting out, it's an easy thing to kind of go the other way and focus too much on the technical stuff and assume that because maybe you're physically simulating something, the animation will take care of itself. And so I talked to Rich about that, and it's interesting, and he says a lot of really great things about that and about how he comes up with ideas and how he approaches animation in the first place.
The world was torn from Memphis streets to Chicago's dawn. Martin fell to a sniper's
Colours,
head.
I guess maybe I'd start with sort of like trying to look at something like Adobe Cooler, or I've got like a big Pinterest board of just...
Oh, 68, a year of pain, blood on the streets.
I'd like to work with some more people and try and explore a bit more, because it's always nice to sort of feedback off other people's work, and even just like you probably find just like being able to show people how to do things is quite a rewarding sort of experience, I think.
Oh yeah, it was my favorite part of my job when I was I was creative director and ran a studio in Boston, and that ended up being so much fun when we would have interns to teach them stuff. It was like great. So the reason I asked you that was because what I'm hoping to try and get out of each of these interviews is not just like do this and these are good things to do, but also don't do this. This is a bad thing. And so like an example from like a couple other interviews were having like your project files be really messy, and it's like an easy thing to do if you're like just kind of starting out. That's not important. And one thing that I always say is I would work with these freelancers all the time who like they'd be in After Effects and they knew nothing. They're a big part of being an animator, even if you're not keyframing every single thing that object's doing. That's great. You do need to know when it's not moving right, when it doesn't feel good.
Met police force in the streets, the brutal cause. Protesters beat the weather gas. The echoes of a violent past. Oh, 68, a year of pain. Blood on the streets, tears like rain. Voices of hope, silenced by hate. In the year of
In this video, I want to go a little bit
68.
deeper and talk about
A year marked by
ways that
sorrow,
you can actually create
lessons learned through
art
heartaches.
in
Though
animation.
darkness
We'll talk
fell,
about
we
the
must create a
and try to give
brighter
you more
world
of a
from the
philosophy.
ashes
So
of
I'll start very briefly by
68.
recapping some of the ways that I made these 3D elements. So as you saw in the lesson, the 3D sphere was created using an effect called CC Sphere. Marathon of a lesson, it is now your turn to complete a challenge to try and work on your ability to reinforce movement within your animation. There are 2 frames, frame A and frame B. And what I want you to do, just like I did in the lesson, is kind of flip book back and forth between them and figure out, okay, where are there elements in frame A that could turn into something else in frame B, and how might that work?
Bad traffic ain't a waste of time. When you were there to hold my hand, but I've had it with the 405 since you said I'd missed my last chance. But I know that you've been asking about me. If I tried though to get you back, would you let me? It might take some time to change your mind. Maybe I can make it right. This take me back in your eyes, making me like a caution light. I wonder if you see it. I don't really need a single other reason to make you mine. It might take some time to change your mind. I know. I wish I
think you did that one? You did that one.
If I took you for a top-down drive, just you and me and an empty road, maybe I can make it cross your mind. Jump back in, baby, go, go, go. Oh, I know that you've been asking about me. If I tried though to get you back, would you let me? Oh, it might take some time to change your mind. Maybe everything we can make it right. This take me back in your eyes.
Happy birthday, boy.
I like
So
yeah, I
like,
like
just think it's weird.
cut it and then it's like okay, and then my dad comes in. Was it like
Single other reason to make you mine. It might take some time.
thanks, Marcus?
Very much.
They're like $7 what a making this star. You also get access to like mazes. I'm sure you have.
night, I try to love, but your heart is made of stone. All my tears, they fall like rain, yet you leave me alone.
Yeah, right?
You pretend it's all pretend, but empty hands, they break me down. But this torment never ends, endless pain, it's all I know. Hurt me more or let me go. In this game, my heart moves. Change your ways or set me loose.
From the beginning, I was like kicking announcement. Beautiful, balanced, dark hair, smile, you can't forget it. Hopeless, romantic antics, anticipating a vision. Clear as mine. Have you ever seen the rainbow? Now beginning to the end, and the sky form. Clouds hug, it's a great on the way you hug. Round so clearly, now could you come round? I'm just lying on my way, my
Hello, so I just got back from a trip with some friends. We went to Rosebud, Warrington, but as you can tell from my voice, I am congested, and from all the sand, I think it's gotten to my throat. So instead of doing homework, I think I'm gonna rest up today, but I think tomorrow I'm gonna be really motivated to do some animation bootcamp. I might watch a lecture tonight, but not do any exercises because I think I have no brain power to do so. So yeah, I'm gonna take a shower, rest up, and I'll see you guys the next time I do some animation bootcamp.
In this lesson, we're going to be talking about a principle that I've heard referred to as eye trace. This is one of those things that's a little bit hard to put your finger on. It's kind of like when a magician is moving his hands around in that really smooth, fluid way, distracting you over here while he pulls a rabbit out from over here. That's kind of what eye trace is. It's the idea that as an animator, you can control exactly where someone is looking on screen. And you can move someone's eye from one corner of the screen to another in a pleasing way. So the idea is just consciously controlling exactly where someone's looking and always being aware of that, how the eye gets from here to here, okay? Now, let's look at some examples. For SoundCloud, it's kind of an older piece, but I think it's a perfect example of eye trace. So let's talk about a few moments. Right off the bat, there's this really simple movement from left to right. Let's kind of go frame by frame through this. Something doesn't actually have to be moving across the screen to make your eye travel across the screen. By showing you things at different points on the screen, your eye naturally goes to where the animator wants you to go. I want you to notice how you've got these arcs that are sort of drawing on and animating off.
In 68, the nation chose between Nixon, Humphrey, and Wallace too.
How there's always
Wallace too.
even when there's 100
Vietnam and civil rights were the issues that divided views. Divided views. But the race of 68, a turning point in time. Nixon claimed his prize, but divisions ran deep. A law and order promise won the day as a turbulent decade.
Morning, so the time is actually very early. It's 3:43 in the morning. I woke up, I don't know why I can't fall back asleep, so we're working on animation bootcamp. I'm gonna be honest with you, I haven't even done the homework for the previous lesson, but I'm just too lazy to put my mind to work, so I'm just watching tutorials, and hopefully we're gonna get to the assignments later. So bust a move is where I didn't even finish the homework yet, but we're on control the eye, which is talking about eye trace. And yeah, I'm gonna finish this lesson, download this, and have a really productive Morning.
Collapses down to become probably this H right here that is in the same spot in the frame. And then those H's can replicate and deform and stretch and lead your eye on this path, eventually pulling your eye back from left to right and ending on this frame here with this white dot that also draws your eye to that spot on the frame. So to recap, we start on the left side of the screen, we go to the middle, then from the middle we pull back to the left, then we go back to the right, back to the middle with this interesting sort of pattern, drop down to the bottom, come around to the left, up, back to the right, and that's where we end. It's almost like a
Living in the shadow space, I guess I never find the light. Living in this endless night, promises I never keep, whisper lies when I'm asleep. Lonely, I'll just sit and weep. Love me now or let me leave.
This can sometimes be helpful if you have a client involved and you need to get buy-off before you go too far into animation. In this case, we're just going to start animating. So this comp that's been created is 1920 by 1080, 24 frames per second, and it is the exact length of the piece, which helped me animate, and I've got the audio, which I can turn on or off. Essentially, what I want to do is just figure out how the heck I'm actually going to animate these things. Do I actually want to grab bits and pieces of use that easily, and I can just bring this over and scale it up to match the size as closely as I can. I'm going to pull that over and grab the red color, so I have that. And then I need to rebuild these lines, and I want to be able to control the rotation of them and the scale of them really easily. So I think what I'll do...
I don't know why I'm so blue right now, but we're gonna do some animation bootcamp right now.
Drag and create a square that just touches both. Now I can just rename this thing ref, and I can now move this thing around. So if I position this here, I now know that this O is gonna end up right there, and I'm gonna have an easy time getting the gaps to be exactly this. Again, there's a million little tricks like this. That's another one for you. All right, so I made some more progress and wanted to check in. So let's play this a few times. You can see it's starting to come together, but I want to make another timing change based on the music. If you now want that rhythm to somehow marry up to the visuals of these O's sort of splitting off and multiplying. But as cut in the animatic, this shot isn't long enough for that. But that's okay. If I turn my reference back on, you'll see that we've got this close-up that lasts quite a long for the asterisk key. And essentially what I'm going to do is listen and tap in rhythm to the song. So watch this.
Home and I'm so hungry, so I'm gonna make myself a little yogurt bowl. I just came back from the grocery store. Huge chunk of Chobani Greek yogurt. I'm so hungry. I'm gonna add some frozen blueberries. I don't know if you know this teacher TikToker, but she makes this and that's what got me into it. Yeah, this looks so delicious.
On the boardwalk in 68, women gathered to demonstrate. No more crowns, no more gowns, time to tear the pageant down. Freedom trash can blazing bright, rise and make up burn tonight. Sheep to women we proclaim.